whatever. I'm not salty. The important thing is we're still alive.
Alright, we're kind of winging it. I messed up my setup before this, so fuel we're gonna estimate while we do this.
Hey, what up? It's Lewis from the future. So what happened was, right before qualifying, I was messing around with my setups and I accidentally saved over my setup that I had worked on with specific tire pressure set for this race in particular. I know, big brain moment. But I do have a base setup that I have saved separately, so I'm not starting from scratch. But I still have to guess on tire pressures and my fuel, like the planned stops. I have to kind of calculate how much fuel I'm gonna need throughout the race while I'm racing. So that's gonna be fun. So in the tire pressure thing, it's because of the temperature, the lower temperature, my tire pressures aren't really optimized. Well, I did my best to guess what I could. So hopefully that's it pays off. We'll see. This is the first of 5 races for the Best of British series. These are mini endurance races taking place at the 5 British ACC tracks, organized by the SimGrid, and this first race is at Oulton Park. So this is the formation lap. We're warming up our brakes and our tires, so when we start we aren't sliding around as much, because cold brakes, cold tires is not what you want, especially when you begin the race, but you do what you can.
I really hope these tire pressures come through.
Me too, mate. Alright, I'm fast forwarding through the formation lap up into the start. The beginning of the race is always the trickiest. Everyone's always trying to climb position, so avoiding chaos and damage is our main goal.
Go, go, go. Left side, clear left.
Decent start. Porsche's pulling away a little, but it's alright. We got a turn coming up, as long as the Mclaren doesn't try anything weird.
Car left. He's still there.
Looks like we already have someone off. We have 2 people off on each side. The car on the left definitely binned it, but the one on the right only went slightly off track.
Car
That was
left.
close.
He's still there.
Looks like
Clear
someone's
left.
treading on the grass. Managing to keep it in for now.
Left side. Hold your line.
Oh, and we already have one guy going off.
Left side. Clear
Looks
left.
like he's taking a shortcut. Alright, cool. Just don't mess me up.
Hold your line.
And he did.
Clear left.
Yeah, when he rejoined, he slowed down the McLaren and the Porsche ahead of me, which caused me to hit my
Clear
brakes.
left.
We lost 2 positions. We'll make them up. Looks like there's a pretty tight pack up ahead. The R8. Oh, the R8 spun out. The first lap could really make or break you. You hang out with the wrong pack and that might happen. Well, so far we lost a couple positions, but we gained a bunch from people just messing up. Oh, and speaking of the devil,
Right side's clear.
yeah, luckily that wasn't too bad.
Clear left.
Looks like we may have the run on this Porsche down this straight. Trying to pull ahead before the turn, but he's still there.
Still
Not
there.
quite.
Clear right.
Trying to tuck in behind. It's not really worth fighting too much at the beginning. It's an hour and a half of racing, so just getting into the rhythm and just pushing on. As long as we stay consistent, we'll make up a bunch of positions. Well, that's 1 lap completed, and so far we're still on track and we haven't had any major offs. We would have been ahead of this Porsche if we hadn't got knocked around on our last, that second to last turn, but whatever. I'm not salty. The important thing is we're still alive. I cannot say the same for that Porsche. So the Aston that almost took us out, caught up. It's fine. I'll just keep my distance. Right? So I'm trying to keep it cool. Not trying to psych myself too much from seeing him in my rear view. But I still do. And I overcook my entry and slide in a little bit, which causes him to close in the gap a little bit more. Not ideal, but we still managed to pull out ahead a little bit. Surprisingly. We might have messed him up.
Okay,
I don't feel too bad about that.
The leader has just done a 134.41.
Comes in really close to us at the same turn that he hit us last time, but luckily we avoided it. I don't know if I'm taking that turn too slow or he's taking it too fast, but one of us is messing up. Not the best turn, but we're still managing to stay ahead, which is good. Trying to build that distance between us as much as I can.
324.
Here's a good example of why you should use as much of the track as possible. He got a much better run out of that turn than I did because he used the entirety of the track available to him. He was also wise to pull out from taking the inside line. He probably would have messed up. That was a bit risky riding the curve right there. Luckily we didn't lose it. We still got him on our tail though. Looks like the Aston struggles a bit on his exit. A bit of oversteer. Loses some speed because of it. A bit too slidey through the chicane, which obviously slows us down. Gives him a chance to get a better run out of the corner. I could have done a better job at defending here, but again, it's too early for me to try to defend. I'll lose more time defending, trying to keep him behind me, than I would just letting him go and sticking right behind him. Clean overtake, but I end up losing some time here on that exit. Not ideal. It allows the Lexus to get a better run. A bit risky going too deep into this turn. I still have a little bit of PTSD from the last lap. But luckily we avoid contact and that little bit of oversteer could have been a lot worse. So we're coming up to our third lap and I'm gonna fast forward a bit, a few laps. Quick pause in the fast forwarding. I thought you guys might want to witness this amazing change in position. Notice the setup. Fantastic overtake. Hope you guys took notes. Alright, starting our 6th lap, about 8 minutes of racing. We managed to gain a couple positions from people pitting, so that's good. There's an Aston leaving the pits, and he started ahead of us, so I'm not really sure what happened to him. He must have gone off somewhere. But he's back now, fresh out of the pits. I'm gonna assume a lap down from us, or 2 laps down from us now. He seems to have pretty good pace. But best thing we can do is tuck in behind him, catch his draft, and hope that propels us forward. Going into this turn, I wasn't aware that the blue flags were for him, and this ends up happening. Looking back on it now, I could see what he was trying to do. He went off the racing line and slowed down for me to pass him. I unfortunately followed him because I didn't notice, so partly my fault, but also you don't slow down like that, especially when someone's right behind you. Unless, of course, you're looking to get R4M'd or, you know, join the Shadow Realm. And if that's the case, by all means. That drift was on purpose. Up ahead, we have a nice pack of cars. Looks like it's 3 of them. Could have been a lot closer if we hadn't gotten slowed down back there, but hey. We got one guy going off. And that is our white Aston friend. coming up on our 7th lap. We also gained a position because of another car pitting, so that's cool. Up to P21. Managed to get within 6/10 of him, drop back down to 9, pretty much a second behind him. So the tow we're getting is very minimal, but we are getting a little bit. You could barely see him in the rearview mirror, but slowly but surely, the blue Aston is catching up. I don't even know how to feel about it. He's a back marker, so, you know, him overtaking me wouldn't really be an issue to my place in the race, but judging off of that weird braking he did last time, I don't know. It's kind of scary. He did get a better exit out of that chicane, so might as well just let him go through. And hope he doesn't pull off any weird stuff again.
The gap in front has increased to 2.1 seconds.
If his pace is there, I'm more than glad to just stick behind him and just follow him through. Racing hack. Let the faster car by and tuck in for the tow. Except in this case, I did have to lift a little bit there to avoid running into him because I was gonna get a better run out of that exit. Well, I messed up the next turn, which causes me to get a slower exit, and the blue Aston starts pulling away some. Lap 8, and we're about 14 minutes in. 21st place. There's still plenty of time to climb some positions. This is a tricky turn here. There's a small margin of error to get it right, but when you get it right, it feels so good. And you gain a lot of time. In this case, that was an example of a bad turn, not a good one. So don't do that. Coming in hot. Managed to close in the gap. Oh, nice sparks. But he still gets a better exit than I do. Went through the chicane. Looks like the two guys ahead followed each other. Went off course. Blue Aston passing the white Aston. Looks like the white one didn't really contest it. That was a nice overtake. It was clean. Now let's try to get our overtake, because this one is for position. Oh no, the blue Aston's gone again. Jeez, man, that guy. F.
Okay, nice. There's a car exiting the pits, heads up. Green flag, all clear. The last lap was at 136.78.
Starting our 10th lap, and guess who's coming out of the pits? It's the blue Aston. So right now I realized he had already taken his first pit stop earlier. That's why he was down a couple laps. And when he messed up last time, he took his second pit stop, meaning he got both of his out the way and he could just carry on with his race. A bit early to take both pit stops, so hopefully it works out for him, but he's definitely down more than a couple laps compared to everybody else. Jumping ahead a couple laps. We're still chasing down the blue Aston, but now we have some company behind us. Looks like the faster guys that pit are finally catching up. The foolish thing for me to do here would be to try to defend against them. Obviously, you could see the speed that he came at me with, so I mean, I'm more than aware I'll let him pass. Well, I would have let him pass, but I was focusing too much on what was behind me and messed up. It's a thought that counts in this situation. He does have a buddy though behind. There's another Aston behind me, Singer. He is also at the same pace level as the Mercedes ahead, and I'm gonna have to let him pass eventually when he gets close to me. So, just waiting for that. There's no point in slowing down for somebody, so don't slow down for the faster car. Just move out the way if you can.
21st.
So now we're starting our 13th lap. Lucky number 13. I'm trying to keep up with this yellow Mercedes, but his pace is definitely a level above mine. For this race, we had to qualify. Well, for the event series, we had to qualify in order to make it. There were 6 splits, and I managed to make it into the 4th one, so I'm a little proud of that. But there's definitely faster people, and I feel like I'm at the top of that split, not well, at the end of the split, not the top. Top meaning like the faster people. So we have some work to do, but I feel like we are competitive in the split, which is good.
Yellow flag.
Up ahead, it looks like a Audi is re-entering the track.
Incident clear.
Clean re-entry. He managed to keep his speed up and avoid me getting too close. Surprisingly, Singer, the Aston that was right behind the yellow Mercedes when he overtook me, is still behind me. Seems like our pace is not too bad compared to his, or we're just slowing him down. One of the two. I'm gonna go with the second. We're probably slowing him down. He does look like he wants to make a move soon, though, so I'm expecting that to come like now, which is not a good idea. This kink, yeah, there he goes. That was a good example of why I would never suggest anyone overtake on that kink. It's dangerous unless you're super confident, like that Aston.
To 3, yellow flag.
Moving forward a bit, same lap, still following the R8.
Has been dead.
Yeah, I binned it too. Not as bad as that guy though. We were already a second down on this lap, and that only put us behind even more. So now 4 seconds more, so now we're almost 6 seconds behind. That's not good. But with an hour left in the race, we carry on. Before I fast forward through more, I wanted to stop so we could say hi to our friend again as we're catching up. Man, I thought I was having a frustrating race. I'm sure he's not enjoying this as we pass him again.
Car ahead's pitting.
We gain another position as we cross the line to start our 16th lap. Alright, jumping into the 21st lap, we've gained about 3 more positions just from people pitting. And at this point, I've already figured out how much fuel I'm gonna need. That's why the MFD is up on the left. So yeah, so this is me going into the pits now, as you can see very clearly. I'm also doing some last minute tire pressure changes because I'm also changing tires.
What's your speed?
So I'm adding fuel and changing tires for this pit stop.
We should be in P19.
Usually a pit takes about 35 minutes for the amount of fuel and tires I'm putting on. But for this race, I managed to get a hold of the Red Bull pit crew, and they're pretty damn fast. So before the pit stop, crew chief mentioned that he believed we would come out in P19 after the pit stop, but looks like we're in the 22nd position now, which isn't ideal. We got to make up more spots, but again, there's people probably still having pits, so we're hoping on that. So fast forward to lap 29, and we're back again behind the Audi R8, the red one we were following for a while. And based on before, he's pretty fast, so I'm just going to tuck in behind him, but that seems to not be the case since he's pitting, so carry on.
Better than this, the car's better than this. Get it together, man. P19.
Tough love received, bro.
Green flag, all clear.
Alright, so one lap later after that incredible pep talk crew chief gave me,
Car right side's clear.
it seems it didn't work because I just gave away a position to that yellow McLaren. Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh, sparks. I'm blaming this last turn on those sparks. They distracted me a bit. And because of that, now the yellow McLaren is really pulling away.
Sector 2 is
So
clear.
we gotta catch up.
Blue flag.
And not by oversteering. And now I'm getting a blue flag message, which means there's a car that is lapping me behind, which is 4th place. The cars always look so far away in the rear view mirror, but if you look at the time, he's less than a second away, so he's pretty close enough to get some tow. That yellow flag is cleared, but we still got the blue flag.
Green flag, you're clear.
And the green flag. I definitely lost time there. That chicane always gets me. And now 4th place is passing, and like I should, oh, past that guy. I am leaving him space on that side, on the racing line. And all is well. Look at that, clean pass. Alright, so we have a good opportunity to follow a much faster car or driver, both. Oh, yeah, well, now we really got the chance since he got slowed down. And I decide to slow myself down by dipping some tires off track. The Porsche is now trying to get ahead to get into the turn first, which he does. Good for him. And now I'm back behind the yellow McLaren that passed me like a couple laps earlier. Nope, it was earlier this lap. So he passed me earlier this lap. So because of that incident, and because he had to give away the position to the Porsche ahead, I've managed to get close enough to get some tow from the yellow McLaren. And since he's faster, it'll help us bring up our lap times and catch up to other cars ahead, like you do in a race. I've been managing to catch up to the cars ahead when it comes to this turn, so hopefully we could get a little bit closer and get a good exit. Not bad. Manages to close the gap a bit. And then this happens. I was so into catching up that I missed my braking zone, and just by a little bit, and missing it by just a little bit, going that fast is makes you overshoot it by a lot. It didn't help that I locked my brakes. Moving on, 40th lap, and we're still fighting. We're still in it. Got about 22 minutes left in the race. We gained 2 positions. People pitting, which is good, but we also still need to pit, and that's what I'm about to do. Our second pit. This one we are only required to fill up at least 1 liter. And that's what I'm doing, no tire change.
P17.
15 ahead of 17. But I'm 16.
Caught me a bit off guard there. I wasn't expecting it to be so fast, I forgot. I was only putting in 1 liter. Another fantastic pit stop by the F1 Red Bull pit crew. Good job, guys. We also managed to keep our position, so we're still 16 coming out of the pit, so that's very good. 9 intense solo driven laps later. You can see my hands are starting to cramp up a bit. That's from the intensity of my driving. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just been a long time. It's been nearly an hour and a half now. 5 minutes left. And I gotta say, we haven't done that bad. We started P27 and we've managed to cut it down to P16. That's what, 11 places. Look at that. I'm not the fastest, but the consistency and I guess pit strategy worked out until now.
God damn it.
Yellow flag, stay sharp.
There goes 1 position and another one.
Green flag.
It hurts and it's frustrating, but they're still somewhat close, right? So we could still catch up. We got 4 minutes. They are pulling away almost to about a second, which isn't good. Not horrible. We had a poor exit though, and it compromised our straight line speed. Talk about poor exit, right? So now both cars that overtook me during my worst of times are pulling away very far. And I decide, you know what, it's a good idea to just fucking beach it for a bit.
Catch up here, yellow flag.
After an hour and 27 minutes of racing, it starts getting to you. Mainly concentration. For me, I start losing concentration every once in a while. My focus starts drifting, and I gotta remember to always bring it back. As the timer counts down, we are notified of our final lap. The guy ahead is first place, so he's on his last lap, which decides our last lap since we're right behind him. Overall, we had a decent race. I had good pace, but lost a lot of time due to dumb little mistakes I made here and there. I also need to qualify a little better. Starting up higher would help a lot. I really appreciate you watching till the end. There's still 4 more races to go in this series, so don't forget to subscribe to join the Smooth Ops team, and I hope to race with you again. Alright, now I'm off to practice some more. Peace.